Hare Krishna, welcome to all the devotees in today's session of the secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanatimarandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Today we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text number 22. Let us start. Uh, is it 22 or 21? Oh, sorry. Yes, it is 22. वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णान् न्यन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. So very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Translation: as a person puts on new garment, giving up old, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Purport: change of body by the atomic individual soul is an accepted fact. Even the modern scientists who do not believe in the existence of the soul, but at the same time cannot explain the source of energy from the heart, have to accept continuous changes of body which appear from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and again from youth to old age. From old age, the change is transferred to another body. This has already been explained in a previous verse, Truth 30. So it's a very scientific process to understand how it is body who undergoes many changes, uh, and the soul within the body experiences the same identity. So the soul or we experience our identity throughout all the changes of our material bodies which we all carry, and it's a fact. It's not something. It's not a matter of imagination, but our body does get changed many times in our life, uh, as it has been explained here, in boyhood, in youth, in old age. We all have different types of body, so it is not the same body. We have different photographs of our uh, ourselves. So uh, it's a uh, observable fact, and it should really uh, give us a hint that while we remain the same, our identity remain the same, we do change bodies. So if we extend this logic that after we attain old age, we change to another body. So it's nothing something unreasonable. So it is quite reasonable to assume or accept that soul or we are uh, maintain our identity throughout the changes of bodies, and we are going to maintain our identity even after changing the old body. We may call it death, but and another perspective to look at it is simply a change of body, because if we call death as uh, death of old body, then that's what we experience throughout the life. We gave up our boyhood body, we gave up our youth body, we gave up old body. So it's very logical to understand that our identity remains as soul, remain the same while we change so many bodies. And death is nothing but a change of bodies. So we should not be afraid of death because it's simply a change of body. So uh, people generally are afraid of death, not mainly because their own attachments to material bodies, because they want to maintain their bodily relationships forever which is simply not possible. Uh, However, we may try to deny it, but that's a said reality of this world, that we simply can't maintain our bodily designations or bodily relationships. It is simply not possible because that's uh, 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 that's our problem or our ignorance, that we try to establish such temporary relationships and want to extend it forever. That's not the problem with the material nature. uh, Material nature gives us uh, many alarms at different junctures of our life, that we our bodies are changing. So we should be prepared for that, for the ultimate change. But instead of uh, preparing ourselves, we somehow want to continue our material existence within the same body, and we also want to continue our bodily relationships, and that causes us pain. So the only remedy to get rid of this pain is to situate ourselves in knowledge. That's the only way uh, we can avoid all kinds of pain. So while it is not wrong to have uh, relationships based on body, but it is wrong to continue those relationships forever, because that is not possible. And on the other hand, uh, the desire to maintain or to have relationships, it's not wrong. So we should have relationships, but that should be based on knowledge, or that should be based on knowledge of the soul. We should have eternal relationships based on the identity of souls. So that will remain permanent, and we will not be frustrated at the time of death, because we will be in knowledge. So that is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is worried about the death of his relatives, but somehow that uh, he has forgotten that he is lamenting for something which is anyway it's going to happen sometime. So uh, which is anyway the thing which is anyway unavoidable should not be lamented for, because that's a sign of foolishness. For example, we create some like children, they create some sandy homes, some sandy structure near the oceans, and it's obvious that after some time, waves of the ocean will um, destroy their so-called sweet homes made of sand. But somehow other they want to continue dream, their dream homes, and it's just foolishness to think like that. That uh, our sandy homes will remain here forever. So that's simply childish. So we should understand that by the influence of time, our current existence, material existence, uh, will be terminated, and we will have to change another body, and we should be prepared for that. And we should have relationships, but our relationships should be based on knowledge. It should not be based on some material identification or bodily identification. Okay, next. Transference of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul. So sometimes we may have this query that uh, how the change of soul from one body to another happens. So here is the key. So transference of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul, because super soul, or we call it Paramatma, is right within the heart of each and every individual soul, and it is through Paramatma, who is the witness of uh, actions of uh, all individual souls. Uh, the individual souls, according to his past actions, gets transferred to another body. So that is the science, science of uh, how uh, individual soul gets into another body. Now, it may not be accessible to us to understand how this exactly happens. So, as we discussed yesterday, the whole material universe is the universal government of God or Lord Shri Krishna, and creation has not been made to make us understand how it works. So that we should clearly understand. The word has not been made to make us understand how it works. So whatever what relevant uh, is for us, that has been given in Vedic scriptures. So we should be simply satisfied with that knowledge, because uh, simply hankering for details of material universe is anyway not necessary. Even if we do find such knowledge, what is the gain? Like um, nowadays we are planning to go to moon or Mars or some other planets, and what we do there? Simply go there and with such great efforts, with that costs uh, billions of dollars. And what is the result? Do we get anything from that? No. Or we may get some information. What is the use of that information? What do we do with that? Anyway, we cannot go there and live there. The climate is completely different. It's simply stupidity, simply foolishness. It does not need more than common sense to understand that we are so stupid. People pay taxes, and this money has been utilized for such useless expenditures. What is the gain? Let somebody should explain to us what is the gain. You, it's like you are creating a business, and the profit you won't get any profit from that. So what is the point in creating such business? Somehow the people have lost their common sense. It's just a matter of just India became this country or America became this country. Then we place our flags on moon or Mars and whatever. It's simply foolishness. What uh, benefit do we get by such simply by having such credits? And it's also debatable whether we really can go there. Maybe devas, they are be fooling us. They may give access to us for a limited area of their planet, but they may not reveal their own planets. And anyway, even if you see something there, what is the gain, right? It's simply information is not the gain. We should be also interested what to do with that information. For example, we study anatomy or the structure of the body. So, what is the gain? Unless we are going to make some surgery over the body or make some treatment plans, how and so that is the advantage of knowing the structure of the body. Otherwise, simply knowing the structure of the body is useless. It's meaningless, right? Any sane person can understand it. So, knowing the structure of the universe is meaningful, provided we are going to do something with that. Now everything is in confusion. We will do something in future. First we should be sure enough whether or not the information which we are going to collect is useful for us. And it's very um, apparent that we simply cannot go there by our own, by this existence in this um, material body, or with this condition of the planet earth. We cannot go there or live there. We may go there for some time, but it's not possible to just be there forever. Then what is the point of just spending millions and billions of rupees? Anyway, that's we don't have scarcity of fools in society, so this business will go on. So the point is that it is through the agency of super soul, individual soul uh, attains another body. So how exactly, that may not be the subject matter of our knowledge, or it is not even necessary for us to know this, because we don't have to do anything to do with that, because we don't have to take up this task of transferring one soul to another. It is Paramatma, and under the agency of Paramatma, devas are acting on his behalf. So uh, the thing which is relevant for us to know is that it is super soul who does that. That's it. Next, the super soul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul as one friend fulfills the desires of another. So here the characteristic of super soul has been given. The super soul is not something like some unknown person, or a, a person who has nothing to do with us. He is actually our best friend, and um, as best friend, he fulfills our desires. So that is super soul or Paramatma. The Vedas, like the Mundaka Upanishad as well as the Shvetashatra Upanishad, compare the soul and the super soul to two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the birds, the individual atomic soul, is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. So, this analogy has been given in Upanishad, particularly Mundaka Upanishad. So, it is the soul and super soul are like two birds within the same tree, and individual soul is eating the fruit of the tree. So what that means is he is enjoying the fruits of his own actions or karmas, whereas super soul, who is his best friend, is watching his actions. Of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits of the mature tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is the witnessing bird, and Arjuna is the eating bird. It's very simple to understand. So Arjun is calculating in terms of what fruit will he get by fighting with his relatives or not fighting with his relatives. Whereas Lord Shri Krishna, who is a witness of everything, or he is a super soul, he is simply watching Arjuna's reactions. Next, although they are friends, one is still the master and the other is the servant. Forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is the cause of one's changing its position from one tree to another, or from one body to another. So this is a complete analogy. So soul and super soul, they are like two birds sitting on the same tree, and uh, individual soul in search of fruits uh, goes from one tree to another, whereas super soul always follows his individual soul and guides him to come back to him. So that's a uh, complete understanding of the science of soul. That there are two souls. One is individual soul, and another is super soul. So when an individual soul recognizes his position as servant of the super soul or servant of Paramatma or Lord Shri Krishna, then he can also enjoy like Lord Shri Krishna or super soul. But so long uh, he's searching different fruits, or he wants to enjoy this material world, he will be uh, continuously passing from one tree to another or one body to another. That is his misfortune. Next, the jiva soul is struggling very hard on the tree of the material body, but as soon as he agrees to accept the other body as the supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to do by voluntarily surrender unto Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentation. So that is the end of individual souls, all kinds of sufferings. So is an individual soul simply has to recognize his own position as the servant of the super soul, or Lord Shri Krishna. And once he recognizes his position as servant of Lord Shri Krishna, then naturally he will be engaged in that loving devotional service. So he will be serving his master, Lord Shri Krishna, in various ways. So Bhakti Yoga is the way to express an individual soul's loving feelings toward Lord Shri Krishna. Nothing else. It's as simple as that. So, so long uh, an individual soul does not turn his face toward Lord Shri Krishna or Super Soul, he will be continuing his miseries. His lamentation will never find an end. So that's the reality. Both the Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.2 and Shvetashvatara Upanishad 4.7 confirms this. So these are the words of Upanishads. Let us see. Samane prakshe purusho nimagno अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यति अन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानम् इति वीतशोकः अस्य महिमानम् इति वीतशोकः. So the moment an individual soul realizes the glories of the super soul, then he becomes free from all sorts of lamentation. Translation has been given here. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. So what is the meaning of turning his face towards the super soul? To accept his position as servant and act in that position. So it's not that he is just knowing that super soul is my master is enough. One one has to also uh, employ oneself in that loving relationship. It's a whenever we are talking about master servant relationships with respect to Lord Shri Krishna and individual soul, it is a loving relationship. It is not a relationship between any ordinary boss or employee as we see in this world, because uh, Lord Shri Krishna is our uh, loving master. He's not just master; he's our loving master, and we should uh, clearly understand that uh, he he is such a master that he can accept any relationship with the individual soul to accept our services or accept our loving feelings. So he may act as a friend, he may act as a son, he may act as a lover, he may act as a husband, he may act uh, as a master. So uh, though he is our master, he maintains us. So he is master in that sense because he is the controller and he is the owner of everything, whatever we see in this world. So we also belong to him because we are dependent on him. Whatever we need, it is he, Lord Shri Krishna, who supplies us. But he is our loving master. So when we say master, it is in this sense that he provides us everything. This master can mean a father, this master can mean a mother, this master can mean a friend, a lover, a husband, or um, so all such relationships are welcome in this servant and master relationship. So let us not get confused uh, with the servant and master relationship with respect to Lord Shri Krishna and an individual soul. So it is not any ordinary relationship; it is a loving relationship. Next, Arjuna has now turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna, and is understanding the Bhagavad Gita from him. And thus, hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of the Lord and be free from lamentation. So here we have a practical example of how an individual soul turns his face towards Krishna. So Arjuna, in the beginning, he argued with Lord Shri Krishna that Why are you unnecessarily engaging me in this war? I don't see any gain out of this ugly war. But then at the end of the day, he recognizes his weakness, that he is not able to understand what is good for him, and he accepts Lord Shri Krishna as his uh, spiritual master, and he is now understanding instruction of Bhagavad Gita from Lord Shri Krishna. So we will see that at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun will not have any lamentation, as he is expressing here. Next, Arjuna is advised herewith by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his old grandfather and his teacher. He should rather be happy to kill their bodies in the righteous fight, so that they may be cleansed at once of all reactions from various bodily activities. One who laid down his life on the sacrificial altar or in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reactions and promoted to a higher status of life. So there was no cause for Arjuna's lamentation. So Arjuna should not be worried about the loss of material bodies of his relatives, particularly Bhishmadev and his teacher Dronacharya, because anyway, even if their bodies get killed on the battlefield, they will be cleared of all contamination belonging to uh, bodily designations. So there is absolutely no need of lamentation on part of Arjuna, and he should simply carry out his duty as a Kshatriya, as uh, it is challenging for, but there is no way other than to execute it, because there are challenges in all our dharma. So Arjuna simply stick to his own dharma and just do the needful. Okay, I will stop here. If there is any question, we can take, or else. Oh, I didn't mute anyone. Okay, sorry. Yes, would you like to prove any questions so far?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, so we will stop here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीमद् भगवद गीता यज्ञ की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू ऑल फॉर ज्वाइनिंग द क्लास हरे